Hello everybody and welcome to One Player. Today on the channel, it is the third installment of our coverage into the BGG Solitaire print and play design contest. This is the Last Yithian, and I will talk to you about this game in just a moment. Before I tell you about the other games being played by our squadron of content creators this week, Vaselko is going to be playing Brass Age, which is a bag building game, kind of a brass punk, I suppose. I was going to say steampunk, but brass, steam, both kind of the same. A cool bag building game that looks thoroughly enjoyable. So Thekos is playing Borrow, which is a card-based mining game based on, or themed around the tin and copper mines of Cornwall, England. Very excited about that one. It sounds kind of fun. Chrissy over at Solo McLaughlin is going to be playing Rolling Apartments, which I believe is a card game as well. There might be some worker placement involved about getting along with your roommate. And Dimitri, I think, is going to be playing All Is Bomb, which is a card game where everything is a bomb. If that premise doesn't excite you, then I don't know what does. Because if everything's a bomb, then everything is fun. Bombs are fun? I don't know. It sounds great. We've got a good lineup this week. As I said, my game is The Last Yithian, which is a Lovecraftian kind of dice challenge game. Again, more about that in just a second. But I wanted to talk just very briefly about the contest in general, and especially our coverage of it. Now, this is a contest for amateur designers. That means that people are not paid to create games for a living full-time. They're not likely being paid to create games at all, myself included. That is a goal, perhaps, for some of the entrants. Maybe not. Not everyone does this to like get published and get a Kickstarter and fund it for $1 million. Like, I'd say the vast majority of people are doing this because it's something they enjoy. Again, myself included. I like making games. I like making videos about games. And they just want to share the things that they are proud of creating. So that said, these designers are putting themselves in a pretty vulnerable position because they're asking people that they don't know to play the games, to play their games and give feedback. And that's nerve-wracking, right? Like, lots of these games maybe have been play tested by friends and family, maybe even not. Maybe it's just, maybe this is the place that they're sharing the game for the very first time. And so looking for feedback is tough. What is feedback? Well, it can be positive and it can be negative. It's constructive, always. What that means is that it always is going to help the designer make the game better. And what that looks like, or what that doesn't look like, is this game sucks. Or this game isn't as good as blank. What it could look like is, I really like the theme, but I think there needs to be more strategy. Or this felt a little bit random. Or I didn't understand this particular part of the rules, or whatever. Notice that those sentences are mostly I-based, so they start with like, I think this, or I feel that, not like your game is X, or your game is Y. Again, I love making games, I love making videos about board games, and so I'm occupying kind of both spaces in this contest. Neither are my full-time job either, so I'm not getting paid for making games, I'm not getting paid for making videos about these games. But we do this because we love games, we appreciate creativity, we're excited by new ideas. So when you visit the threads, the works in progress of these games, give feedback to the designers, leave comments in the videos here, leave comments on any of the videos of any of the other creators. Be constructive, be open, be curious, have fun. Just enjoy the creations that are being put in front of you, and I think that will lead to everyone having a good time. Designers, players, video makers, everyone included. That's my soapbox. It's not much of one, just be nice. But otherwise, let's get on with the game. This is The Last Yithian. Now, Yithians, I did not know, are extraterrestrial alien creatures that found their home within the bodies of ancient Earth creatures, tiny little ancient Earth creatures. They shifted their consciousness into these little pill bugs, I imagine, and then grew from there to giant slime cones with tentacles and various amounts of eyes. That's Lovecraft for you. I can't explain it. So the Yithians are being invaded by the polyps. The polyps are some horrible eyeball creatures that are trying to erase everyone else from existence, and the Yithians are trying to now transfer their consciousness to a new homeworld. These are these various cards in here by different planets, essentially. They're looking to transfer their consciousness to other beings on other worlds and continue their race. So you're the Last Yithian. It's your job to get off Earth and skedaddle. And we're going to be doing that by rolling dice and trying to hit particular targets that will allow us to exit Earth and continue our species. So at the start of every game, what we're going to do is shuffle up a deck of 36 cards. Now these, you can play this two-player, so one player can play as the polyp, one player can play as the Yithian. And if you do, there's card backs to put on there to determine which deck is which. But I just went with black backs because my printer, as you can probably already see, was having a bit of a hard time. Now, each of these cards is a different planet to explore, and essentially each planet gives us skills with which to manipulate our dice to try and hit that target. The target, this is my favorite arcane dice bag here. The target is going to change once a round. We've got 2 dice here, one for round and one for turn. As you might imagine, you can tell now we've got 6 rounds and 6 turns, so 36 turns in total. And what we're going to do is take 6 dice, that's 4, 5, and 6 out of the bag. We're going to roll them, and this becomes our target, if I put this at the very top, for our rolls. So we want to score 2 purple 1s, a purple 3, 2 orange 3s, and an orange 5. Now you can play this with any colored dice, doesn't matter. As long as they're 2 different and you've got equal amounts of each, so 10 of each. Theoretically, the cards, if you play on hard mode or extreme mode or insane mode, you are only allowed to alter the dice of the particular color of the card, but I'm just going to play on normal mode because I'm just a normal guy. I've hidden a token here, see which I need to get out. Hold on. This is going to be our little claiming token. I'll talk about that in just a second. So we're going to take 7 dice as our focus dice, and these are going to help us to achieve these rolls. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we've got a nice balance of reds and purples. So every turn, what we're going to do is either choose to do 2 optional actions and then 1 of 2 non-optional actions. So one of our optional actions is to exhaust one of these dice and draw a new card. If we don't like any of these cards, any of the skills we get from them, we can discard one of these dice or exhaust it and then pull another one into the mix. I'll keep it as it is for now. I want to roll as many dice as I can to get a better chance of passing these challenges. The other optional thing we can do is place a pawn or a spaceship or whatever you've got onto one of the cards in order to kind of save them. If we claim one of these cards this turn, all the rest go into a discard pile and we're not able to claim them again. So if we like the look of 2 of these cards, like for example these 2, I do kind of like the look of them, we can claim them before we roll and save them for if we are able to gain this card this turn. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to move this little spaceship and I'll put it on here. This is the one I'm going to save, and this probably is the one I'm going to try and get. You can see these various symbols down here. I'll say that the graphic design on this game is actually really simple. Once you get the idea of what each symbol does, it's actually pretty nice, and the dice, the dice placement makes sense. They fit a nice dice on there. Yeah, I really like the artwork and the layout and the design of the game. It's very simple and very straightforward, so nice job on that one. I'm going to place my claiming pawn on here, and what I'm going to do is choose, rather than to hit the target, which I could try and do, which essentially just involves rolling all my dice and seeing if I can match these. It kind of reminds me of like Mastermind, the 2-player kind of mystery game where one person's got a secret code and the other person's trying to crack it. Kind of reminds me of that. But we've got this target we need to hit, so I'd have to get very, very lucky with no ability to change the dice at all. I'd have to get incredibly lucky to roll exactly this, right? These 3 purple dice, these 3 orange dice. I could do it, theoretically, but I'd have to get very lucky. Probably the best thing to do and to concentrate in on the early rounds is just to try and gain some of these skill cards. So let's roll all of these, and we'll start placing some dice. So in order to pass this challenge, I need to place 2 6s and a 4. Well, you can see we've already done that, or we've achieved that. We've achieved that with our roll, which is lovely. We don't need to do anything else. We can place all our dice here and claim this card. Let's say I didn't. Let's say these are my rolls, for example, and I can place a 4, but I can't place anything else. What I need to do is I would basically discard one of my focus dice and re-roll everything. And then if I fail again, I can do the same until I'm rolling a single dice, and if I fail with that single dice, then I fail. You'll probably see this happen later on, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but that's essentially how it works. We got pretty lucky this time because we did get 2 6s and a 4, and we can claim this as our skill. What that means, like I mentioned earlier, 1, all these dice go back to the bag. So back in the bag. This card now gets put into the discard, not this one because we saved it, but our pawn goes back, so we can't keep saving it, obviously, or automatically, I should say. And then we're going to refill the offer with 2 new cards. Lovely stuff. That's the end of our turn, so we're going to move our turn marker down by 1. We've got 5 turns left this round. At the end of a round, the target dice change, so that's something to look out for. And of course, if you get to 0 bounds, then the game's over. You haven't won. I'm going to keep these off to the right here. Now, one of the things, or one of the issues that I've found with this game so far is the rulebook is a bit difficult to understand. And I think I'm not alone in that. I've gone to the thread and kind of looked through a couple of the suggestions and comments in terms of like moving the rulebook around. I'm not certain how these skill cards work in regard to other skill cards. So I know that when we choose, if we go to that choice and make, okay, I'm going to, instead of trying to gain a skill card, I'm going to try and hit my target. We can use these skill cards one by one. We flip them over and we can try to manipulate dice. So for example, this gives us a plus or minus 1 to any dice face. Nice and straightforward, nice, easy dice manipulation, right? We all can deal with that. But I don't know how often we're able to continue using them, especially if we're going to aim to pull more skill cards. So let me kind of illustrate this with our next turn. So I didn't actually need to roll these, but I've got 7 dice, and I suppose I knew for myself that I'm not going to try and hit the target. I'm going to try and get another skill card, so I'm just going to keep this roll. So if I've got a, say, 5 and a 4, I can place them on here. Let me find a good example. Okay, this actually works better. So I've got a 5, I've got a 4, and I've got dice here that add up to 5. Now I need also a 4, and I haven't rolled one. My question, I suppose, and I think what needs to be clarified in the rules, is can I use this to alter this dice? So can I plus 1 to this and make it into a 4 and use it? And if I can, when do I get this back? Is it gone forever? Or is it gone for the rest of the round? What I've been playing personally is it's gone for the rest of the round, so until this ticks down, but not for the rest of the game, because that seems like these would be relatively hard. They're like relatively hard to come by, and if you use them just to get another one, then you're not really building anything. You're just kind of swapping out actions or manipulations, which seems less than ideal. Also, if you weren't able to use them to get skill cards, then you're kind of like riding on luck for this entirely, which, I suppose this allows you to get more and more powerful as the game goes on, so it kind of gets easier and easier. But maybe that's the goal? I don't know. So I've been playing that you can use it once per round. So I think what I will do is do just this and add 1 to it. So we'll add 1 to it, and we'll claim this card. And this allows us to swap one of our focus dice for the other color from the bag. That is helpful when obviously we're trying to hit the target and we don't have the right colors of dice. So I'm going to gain this. I'm going to gain this card. Lovely stuff. Put this here, off to the side again, and you can see that we're stacking up manipulation skills already. Let's move this down to 4. And I should say I should flip this over, of course, because it's the same round. I went on a massive diatribe about that, and then didn't actually do it. So we're going to pull 7 dice, and let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, like I could, theoretically, attempt to match this target with these dice, but I think likely, given that I haven't got much manipulation to do, I'm going to try and get one of these again. So let's roll these out and see what I get. This one looks pretty easy, only a 6, 5, and a 4 needed, or 6 and 2 5s, so I think that should probably be okay. You know what, actually, I think I'm going to get both of these. I'm going to try and get both of them, I should say. And we'll roll and see what we can do. We've got a 5 and a 4, so that should be pretty straightforward. And you see that I don't have a 6, so I'm going to have to discard one of these and re-roll the rest. If I can get a 6, no. Can I get a 6 on these 3 then? No, I cannot. Okay, we're going to keep trying. Come on, please. Oh, it's a 5 and a 3. One last chance to get a 6. Oh, look at that. You love to see that. 6 on the last turn, and we're going to claim this as our skill. Again, I know these might be a bit difficult to see, partially because of my printer and partially because they're quite thin in terms of their font, but that's a 1. So again, this is a ±1 to our dice face. All these are going back into the bag. This is going down to 3, and we've had a pretty successful first few rounds here. This is going to get discarded. And we've got a flip. We've got draw 3 new cards, and this again is a ±1. So this is pretty nice. I like flipping dice. If you play my game designs, you know that I like moving dice around and making them do other things. That's one of my favorite things to do. 4, 5, 6, 7, much like kind of one deck dungeon-esque, right? Again, I can swap and I can ±1, but I don't think that's going to help me get the target enough. So I'm going to go for this flip, I think. I need a 5, 5, and then this time basically needs to be made up of 1s, 2s, and 3s. So for example, if this was my roll, I could place these 3 here, and that would meet my 7 requirement. So as it is, that wasn't my roll. I have to roll them after I choose. And we do have, I think, enough to make that 7. And 2 5s. Oh, brilliant. 3, 2, 2, and 2 5s gets us the flip. And look at this, we're just blasting through it. I think this should have gone back, shouldn't it? I'll just keep it there for now, I don't mind. Right, these are going to go played out. Oh, we got a dead planet. 2 dead planets, oh my goodness. Right, so what happens here? A dead planet is going to increase, going to decrease the timer. So essentially this is like, we try to contact a planet, we try to get our consciousness out there, and unfortunately we're met with a lump of shiny rock. So 2 dead planets are going to reduce our timer by 2, down to 1. We've got 1 more turn left this round in which to attempt to transfer our consciousness. Now, again, there's no like end game scoring, but I would say that your scoring is probably like how many rounds you've got left plus how many turns you've got left. I could see like your best score being out of 36 and your least score being 1 if you've got none of these left and 1 of these left. But that said, we've got 1 turn left this round to try and do it. We'll get our again, the way I play it, my house rules, I suppose, if I've been playing for the past week. I'll get this back at the end of this round, so that's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I need 1 more dice, 7. We've got 1 flip and 1 ±1, and I suppose we might as well use as many of these as we possibly can to get whatever we want. So this T allows us to redraw and re-roll one of the target dice if we don't like it. This allows us to ±2. Again, this allows us to ±1. Given they've already got a ±1, I think I might... What's this again? Is this ±1 or is this flip? No, I can't remember. Oh, this is ±1 as well. Yeah, okay, let's go for the ±2 then. So I'm going to try and go for this one. This one's going to be lost because I think we have to reset it after the round. I think I'm remembering that rule right. But this needs a lot of dice, goodness me. We need 2 6s, 2 6s, a 5, a 4, and 4. Okay, well we can do this. We've got a 5 and a 4 as well. So now we just need 2 6s, but to re-roll, we're going to have to get rid of one of these dice. So this is a pretty tough challenge. And hopefully... Oh, hang on. I could have plus and minus 1, couldn't I? One of those was a 5, sorry. So I had a 5 and I'll change it to a 6 by doing that. And now I need to either roll a 1 or a 6 pretty much. It's a 5, so we have not completed that successfully. That's unfortunate. All these dice are going back in the bag. And I'm pretty sure at the end of the round, we clear out this offer. I think that's how it works. I'm remembering that maybe, or maybe I'm just making it up as I go along. Who knows? But this goes down to 5. It wouldn't be the first time. This goes back up to 6 because we've got 6 turns left in the 5th round. All of these dice go back into the bag. And I'm going to refresh my skills. So I've got a full set of skills now available. Probably your strategy, if this was the case, once you reset all of your skills at the start of the round, would be your strategy would become like just try to get them done like at the start of the round, like aim for the target at the start of the round and then spend the rest of the round trying to gain skills. Maybe to combat that, you could make the score like like a multiplier. So like rather than just a score of 5, I don't know, you'd want to like avoid people just like skipping to the next round for the sake of it. I don't know. Well, you know, I'm again, I'm no game designer, but this is how I'm playing it. So I've got another dead planet. This is going to get put here, and this is going to go on immediately to 5. If you hit a dead planet in the middle of a turn, like in the middle of a round, you just keep taking your turn. If you hit it at the end of the round ends and you do not take your turn. So that's important to know as well. So we're going to pull 6 dice to create the target. Okay, and we'll roll them in just a second. And then 7 dice to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are going to be our focus dice. So what's our target for today? I don't know, for this eternal escape. We've got 3, a 4, a 4. Actually, I'm going to arrange them by color because that somehow makes it easier for me to understand. So 3, 4, 4, and a 4, 6, 6. And our focus dice are actually looking pretty good, aren't they? We could give it a shot, but I'm going to maybe go for another couple of manipulations. We've got a few good ones, but I think I kind of want this one again. This is the one we failed on last time, isn't it? 6, 6, 5, 4, 4. Another flip would be pretty good too. This one is looking pretty decent, actually. 6 plus a 4, 5, 6. This is going to take 3 dice, though, isn't it? There's no way... Oh, unless I get 2 3s. This is what I'm probably going to go for. But let's just roll the dice. Again, I could... Oops, just throwing them everywhere. I could reserve one of these other cards with my spaceship. But, yeah, okay. Maybe I will. Why not? I really like this cool planetscape, too. It's kind of neat. Right, here we go. I'm looking for a 6, a 4, a 5, and 6 worth of 1s, 2s, and 3s. So I've got a 5 and I've got a 4. That's nice. I need a 6, which I could get from flipping. So I could flip this 1. But then I wouldn't have an exact 6, would I? I can do this by using some of my skills, but I don't know if I want to save them for later in the round or not. I'm going to do it. Why not? I think we'll probably use this round to get as many skills as we can, and then it will make the matching the target in the next round probably pretty easy. So I'm going to put this 6 here. Not there, sorry. And then we'll use a +1, -1, essentially, to -1 from this 3. And then I've got 3 2s, which equals 6. That card is mine. All of these are going back in the bag. Lovely stuff. So we used 2 skills to get this 1 skill. So again, like, if these were gone forever, that would be silly and pointless. If they come back next round, then it's kind of like a bit of a waiting game now, I suppose. We've gained ourselves... Sorry, I need to clear this out. So this goes away. This comes in here. This, like, my printer running out of color ink has made these spacescapes, like, quite fantastic. Like, this is, I think, just a normally, like, quite a yellow kind of looking planet, but now it's like this, like, magical psychedelic purple ocean sulfur paradise, which, you know, may or may not be what we're looking for as Yithians. Who knows? Apparently they have like a giant globular foot, kind of like a snail. So maybe that's what they're into. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we need to move the round down. And I suppose given that we just used all of our skills, we should probably try to get some of them back. So let's do this one now. I reserved it, so why not? 5, 5, and a 7 is all we need. And we've got a 5. And we've got 7 as well, although do I want to use this many dice in order to use it? I'm not sure. See, we could do something like +2 to this 1, make it a 3. And then 3, 3, 1 is 7. That's the best we can do, 7 with 3 dice. And then I'm rolling 2 dice to get a 5. Oh, he's done it. Lovely. Right, we've passed that. Our spaceship goes back here. And all these dice come back to me. We've gained ourselves another skill. See, maybe by using these to be able to get the skills is a bit too easy. Like, now I'm thinking about it, maybe it's too easy. Maybe you're gaining skills too quickly. That might not be something the designer wanted to do. Maybe you do have to rely on luck. So I tell you what, I won't use any more skills on my next few rolls and see what happens. I mean, obviously you saw me, like, I failed at one of the challenges at least. And of course, I'm playing on normal mode, not hard mode. So again, you know, maybe the difficulty isn't too bad. And as you crank it up, see, like as you crank it up, like these colors will start to be assigned to particular colors of dice. So let's say our oranges are reds and our purples are blues, because that's how the color wheel works. We would only be able to, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We would only be able to use this flip on one of our orange dice, it's red. And we'd only be able to use this +/-1 on a purple dice. So we'd also be kind of tasked with trying to get a balance of skills for both colors in order to be able to affect all of our dice, which I think is actually a really cool mechanic. And maybe the hard mode actually makes this a lot harder by doing that. As it is, I'm kind of playing on like, yeah, just do whatever you want to any dice. And maybe that's not the way to do it. I don't know. Again, I'm not sure. We've got another flip here, which I don't mind. This focus dice, again, is to allow us to redraw any, or as many, I should say, focus die as we want. And actually in the rules, this does specify it can only be used once per round. So that's what I'm like kind of assuming for the rest of them too. I think if you use them once per turn, it'd be far too easy. So yeah, let's go for this one. Let's go another flip. I like dice manipulation. I like flipping them and moving them around and Virgiling them. That's my TM now. I like Virgiling them. 3. Oh goodness, that's not a good roller, is it? So we've got a 3, which I will place down there. But now we need to rely on getting, well, some more dice to add up to 8. I could put this here, but I think I'm going to re-roll them all. And remember, I promised myself that I wouldn't use more skills. So let's see. Yes, we've done it. 3, 3, 2. That adds up to 8, I believe. So lovely stuff. Back in the bag you go. Down to 2. We'll claim this card. These are going away. See, like I said, once you, even though I think the rules, we're down to 1. Even though the rules are somewhat complicated to understand, not complicated, they're just, oh, we've ended the round. That's it. No turn for us this turn because that 1 is gone. So we're down to round 4, turn 6. But again, my house rules, I'm going to refresh all of these skills. And once we roll our new target dice, I'm feeling pretty confident we might be able to have a go at them. Yeah, the organization of the rule book, I think just needs a little help because it's tough to kind of skim through and know what I'm doing. But after a few games, it becomes like actually really simple, like really easy to play, or not. Yeah, it becomes really simple to understand. So I like that. It just took a bit. The barrier to entry was a bit high. We're gonna re-roll all of these, and we're gonna roll 6 target dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I got enough. Oh, and a nice balance too. Okay, that's good, I think. Right, that's a 1, 3, and a 5, and we've got a 2, 5, and a 6. I'm tempted to go for it and just see if we can make this happen. I'll pull out the offer anyway. It's a dead planet, so we're going down to 5. And we're gonna do 3 more cards. See, time is ticking. Time's running out. We're only down. I mean, we're down to the end of the deck. We do reshuffle these in, so we don't lose if the deck runs out. We only lose if the timer runs out. But that said, I think I have a pretty good shot at being able to do this. We've got 2 +1s, 2 +2s, and a flip. And we've got this transfer, which we can swap dice of a different color if we need to. So let's pull 7 dice out here and just see how we do. I mean, if there's no chance of getting it, then I won't do it, obviously. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so we do actually need to change one of the dice, don't we? We need to change a orange dice for a purple dice. So let's use that skill immediately for this. And we can go fish and find ourselves a purple. So now we've got some chance of obtaining our dice. Oh, actually, you know what I should have done? I should have rolled it first. Let me go back. Sorry. I should have rolled it first. That actually gives me a chance to utilize it if I choose to. So what I should do is essentially the turn order should be I declare that I'm going to try and meet the challenge, then I roll my dice, then I use the skills. which helps. I think is helpful to me rather than just doing it up front. But I'm trying, I'm trying to play. Well, I'm not trying to play by the rules, obviously. See, I need. Yeah, see now, like I have got some good rolls here, and I've got some half decent rolls here. So now I know that I just need to get rid of one of these. So I'm going to swap this dice using this skill for a purple. Here we are. This is spare, don't need it. I don't have any way to get rid of it either, so it's kind of just hanging out. And now you'll see that I've got a 3, a 5 matching. I've got a 5 matching, so I'm going to put them like this. That looks nice. And then I've got a... Did I take this out? Did I roll it? I need to roll it. I can't just put it down, obviously. So it's a 1, which is actually perfect, I think. So I can use a flip to make this into a 6. I can use a +1 to make this into a 2. And I can use a flip to make this into a 6. Now, could I? Let's see if I could do it actually by following the color rule. So I think this must be red because that's where my ink is. This kind of glitchy sunset is now. So I think if I made this into, I could use this one here for that. I could use a +1 blue for this, or -1 for a 2. And then this one I've got a flip red that could be made into a 1. Lovely stuff. And that gives us a victory. All of our focus dice match all of our target dice in pips and color, and that means we escape the ravished planet Earth. The polyps are not going to feast on our brains tonight. We are going to be off enjoying another planet somewhere else. Maybe this one. This one looks nice. Looks nice enough. I kind of like this kind of cyberwave sun that we've created. That is going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Go and check out the Last Yithian. I think with a little bit of rulebook tweaks, I think there's some good bones here. I love the dice challenge. I like the matching of the focus dice to the target dice. Again, it kind of reminds me of that mastermind-ish, like one deck dungeon kind of like dice manipulation. It's good stuff. I enjoy it. I'm the target audience for sure. Like I love rolling dice and then making them into what I wish that they had rolled originally, you know? So yeah, good bones on this. Go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Go check out all the other videos, Brass Age, Borrow, Rolling Apartments, All is Bomb, ? I think that's what Dimitri's playing. Go check those out as well. There's gonna be some good videos this week. I'm excited and I'm thinking about playing some of them myself, to be quite honest, if I've got time before the next week's video. If you are enjoying our contest coverage thus far, do please drop a like, subscribe if you are new, and check out the Patreon if you want to get some behind the scenes and other good stuff like that. Patrons are on the screen right there. They're just brilliant. They're flipping wonderful. Goodness gracious me. Come join the Discord, chat about the Solitaire Print and Play contest in its entirety. We're having some lovely analysis over there at the moment about games that we have all played. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I will see you later.